Hundreds of thousands of Jewish burials, always covered in a linen shroud. Only one preserved for 2,000 years with the image of a man.
John saw the burial cloths and believed. This is in John chapter 20. What did he see that made him believe in the resurrection?
Did he see this faint outline of a man crucified? And is there any historical record from the time of Jesus that others saw it as well?
We have many witnesses who report having seen a cloth, for instance in the Greek, a karyopoitos, which is not made by human hands, an image of our Lord not made by human hands.
Dr. Cheryl White and Father Peter Mangum will travel to Rome soon to examine records that could place the Shroud of Turin much closer to the 1st century. The shroud currently appears in the historical record in Constantinople in 1204, but there is a bloody cloth in a cathedral in Spain that pushes that date back more than 500 years.
It's held in the Cathedral of San Salvador in Oviedo, Spain. This would have been a cloth that would have covered the face while a man was dying or already dead, before he was wrapped in a shroud.
It's called the sudarium. It resembles the Shroud of Turin in several powerful ways. For instance, the blood type is a very rare type AB negative. Then there is the forensic evidence.
As a matter of fact, there's a blood stain on the back of the shroud, the man's head on the shroud, that is the exact same shape as a blood stain on the sudarium. If I could find a record that places the cloth in any place in Europe before 1260, which is the earliest carbon-14 dating, then we have to go back and revisit that carbon-14 dating again.
The carbon-14 dating, it was to be the proof that the shroud was a medieval forgery. A tiny patch taken from a corner of the shroud that dated the shroud to between 1260 and 1390. But then, in 2005, evidence that the corner chosen for the carbon-14 dating was a reweave, a repair. The ultraviolet light shows a very different color for the patch. A microscopic examination of the patch showed cotton fibers. The rest of the shroud has no cotton. It's entirely linen.
It's been debunked. And I'm not talking about priests and sisters at the Vatican debunking it. I'm talking about scientists.
And then Ray Rogers, a chemist on the first project to inspect the shroud in 1978, who had completely accepted the original carbon-14 results. He re-examines the cloth and comes to a stunning conclusion.
I'm coming to the conclusion that it has a very good chance of being the piece of cloth that was used to bury the historic Jesus.
Also hidden deep within the shroud, other evidence that points to the time of Jesus.
There are pollens on this cloth that place it in Palestine, specifically in the old city of Jerusalem. The soil samples we know that exist on the shroud that are from the old city of Jerusalem. Who is the medieval artist who would have known this cloth needs to be taken to Jerusalem so that we can place those particular pollens there? Why would someone go to so much trouble to create a forgery, and how was it done? There are no known medieval processes that would account for that. It absolutely boggles the mind, and certainly for the medieval historian, you're left sort of wondering, well, who was this person?
You can truly see his facial image.
It has always been relatively easy for the faithful.
Preponderance of the evidence shows that it is, in fact, the true burial shroud of Jesus.
But more and more, even the skeptics have to ask the question, who is the man on the shroud?
It really takes more faith to believe that this is a medieval forgery than it is the actual burial cloth of Jesus. The Lord is still speaking to us and is still, in a sense, asking us, who do you say that I am?
But go to my brethren and say unto them, I ascend unto my Father and your Father, and to my God and your God.